This is Haruka, a key character in the Yakuza franchise. Haruka is the child of Yumi Saramura, and technically this guy. But the main focus of her parental figure is Kazuma Kiryu, the protagonist of the Yakuza series. I would say protagonist since, Kasuga is something of a protagonist, I guess. Haruka is a key reason why Kiryu wants to keep living, for her sake. For her sake? Sake? Oh my god!
10 years in the joint made you a fucking pussy!
But what if Haruka wasn't there? What if she wasn't even part of the franchise? Today, I'm going to take a deep dive as to how this alternate timeline would occur if Haruka wasn't alive. What would happen as her as an idol? What would happen with her in Yakuza Kiwami? Let's find out. Welcome to Alternate Timelines. So, just to clear this up first, these are based on my own opinions and theories. Things may be completely off, so if you have a suggestion about how it could change an event in the series, let me know. And feel free to subscribe. This is my first video, and I think you'll enjoy what content I create in this video and on the channel. Also, I'd like to give a couple of shoutouts for a couple of things. First, the Yakuza Wiki page, as that is actually where I got most of the information for this video. I have played all of the games, but it helps bring back information for me, so a big thank you for them. I'd also like to shout out Devilleon7 and FazFaz, as I'll be using their cutscene footage from their videos of the Yakuza series. So, let's get into it. All of this starts in Yakuza Kiwami, of course, being the remake of the first game on the PS2. Kiryu first meets Haruka in Bacchus, when she is found with the gun through the crime scene. But technically, she wouldn't be there. Kiryu would walk in, look at the scene, and no one would be there, except for everyone that's dead. Calling Date, they get him to investigate, while Kiryu still tries to piece information about Yumi and the 10 billion yen that's been missing. It was really that no one ever said who killed them anyways, so it's not really a big event that happens except for introducing Haruka. Then Kiryu tries to find Yumi, or as is known, Mizuki, her bar, Ares. Without Haruka being there, let's assume Yumi told Reina where Ares was. Kiryu still fights Hayashi and all that type of stuff when he gets to Ares. The key part is that Haruka will never get kidnapped in the game by Majima, by the Bloody Eye, or as they're working for, Lao Kalong, and other people. So we assume that Kiryu still fights them regardless, because it's in connection to the 10 billion yen. After that, we get to the Millennium Tower fight, where we fight Jingu, Haruka's supposed parental figure, father-ish, I guess. But since there's no Haruka, we'll assume Jingu and Yumi divorced with no kids. After that's done, Kiryu fights Nishiki, Yumi gets shot, Nishiki blows up the entire place. Here's the tricky part though. Remember when I said Haruka is Kiryu's purpose to live? She's not there now. Kiryu has no purpose to live and gets arrested by the police, which would have happened if Date didn't explain it in Yakuza Kiwami. Finally, assuming he gets out, he lives peacefully by himself. So in Yakuza Kiwami II, Haruka isn't really focused mostly on Kiwami II, as she does stay in the Sunflower Orphanage. Haruka does get kidnapped though by Sengoku of the Omi Alliance, but since she isn't in the plot, anyways, we'll assume Sayama was the one who got kidnapped instead. Yakuza 3 is a big turn in the series based on how Haruka influences the game. Kiryu and Haruka move to Okinawa to start an orphanage. Haruka essentially acts as the reliable older sister, helping with cooking, chores, making sure the kids follow the rules, etc. But Haruka's not there. This would kind of be like in Yakuza Kiwami III with the Morning Glory orphanage side quests. Kiryu's activities like cooking, helping with homework, sewing, might be the tip of the iceberg to what Haruka had to do. Kiryu's lack of experience might create some tension and unease in the orphanage, as he would never have Haruka assist him. The question is, though, who would take care of the kids if Haruka and Kiryu were not there? Assuming that the Ryudo family was way too busy with whatever they had, we would assume it would be Ayako, since she was the next oldest to Haruka. She also resembled a close personality to her, with her calmness and her affection to the other kids, making her for a responsible person. So in Yakuza 4, Haruka didn't really have a major part in the game. She did find Saejima when he washed up ashore while walking Mame on Morning Glory Beach, and that weird cutscene with them together. But does that mean it would be Ayako instead? In Yakuza 5, Haruka becomes one of the protagonists in the game. She becomes an idol, goes to Sotenbori, while Kiryu goes to Nagasagai to become a taxi driver, fading into obscurity. In Yakuza 5, she ends up becoming a finalist for the Princess League, competing against T-Set. She finds Park, her manager, dead, enlists Akiyama for help while he opens Sky Finance, Sotenbori, everything else, and yup, that happens. Haruka then unites with T-Set for the Dreamline, not knowing that Shigeki Baba was planning to assassinate her from orders of Tsubasa Kurosawa. She then quits the idol life, goes back to find Kiryu after his gruesome fight with Masato Aizawa. This story is going to be remodeled a lot, so let me start here. Kiryu will still go to Nagasagai. I think he will most likely want to leave the Tojo for good. He's always said that he wants to let Daigo take charge, with him not being in the spotlight, staying as a civilian for good. As for the Princess League, T-Set will win and they will perform at the Tokyo Dome, just like in the storyline. Akiyama's story will connect to finding out who is the secret worker for the Omi and Osaka enterprises. And Shinada will still have his redemption arc alongside with Daigo. All that changes in the finale. Saejima still fights Majima, but how would Baba and Shinada fight? I think it could be something like with the Yakuza 4! What I think is that Kurosawa decides that if none of them kill each other, Baba shoots Saejima and Majima, but Shinada stops him. Akiyama's fight with Kanai is the same, and Kiryu is the same with Aizawa. The ending, however, can be different. I think it would be like Kiryu hallucinating, just like what he thought with Haruka, but instead he sees the Morning Glory orphanage children and their arms reaching out to him, signifying the take on heaven, and then the game ends on a cliffhanger. And finally, we get to Yakuza 6, The Way of Life. So Haruka returns to Morning Glory while Kiryu is back in the joint. Media backlash is found by her. She flees to Okinawa, meets Kiyomi and the Hirose family. She has a somewhat special time with Yuta, who surprisingly is the heir to the Sayo triad. Damn you, Bishop Violet Velveteen. And gives birth to the cutest child ever, Haruto. She gets hit by a car, Kiryu goes to Onomichi, becomes Onomichio, finds out everything, fights little baby Iwami, dies, gets daidoji'd, and Haruka lives with Yuta, Haruto, and the Morning Glory kids. So how does this final game change? Well, first of all, Haruto was not born. I think that Kiryu tries to reunite with the Morning Glory kids, but then there is someone in particular looking for Kiryu because he knows connections with the secret of Onomichi and the Tojo, and he wants to keep it for himself, that being Sugai. This leads to the entire storyline of the secret of Onomichi, ending with the Iwami fight, but who would Sugai shoot? Kiryu, for ruining everything, straight blank. And then he gets daidoji'd, and the credit scene will actually show him looking one final time at the Hirose family and the Morning Glory kids playing together, and then walking away. And that's it. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe. I really hope this content is very interesting to you, and give me some suggestions on what I should make next. Thanks for watching.